on saying that we are ready to rock and to roll, y'all. Do you all know what time it is? It is that time once again. Y'all know I am here on ColumbusBlack.com, Support Black Business Series. We do this each and every week on Thursday evenings to make sure that we continue to highlight all those great people that are out here doing great work from a business standpoint, whether for-profit or nonprofit. And I'm super excited for the guest that we have here with us today. Brother Steve Miller is with us. He's going to introduce himself shortly, but before he does that, I want to make sure everybody who's joining us for the first time, they know exactly who we are and what this is actually about, right? So I'm the founder and CEO of ColumbusBlack.com. We've been around for almost 17 years, y'all. That's right, 17 years this May. So, and what we have evolved into over time, because businesses evolve, is that we are an omni-channel platform, and we are now servicing the Black community, connecting them to commerce and to culture, right? So when we do that through what has evolved into an omni-channel platform, what do we mean by that? So through our website, email blast, text blast, social media, virtual events, live events, you name it, that's how we get information out to the Black community. So for those from a commerce standpoint, if you're a business, we highlight Black-owned businesses on a regular basis to make sure everybody knows who they are so you can support them, okay? We do that here on this show for free. That's right, Free. You can't find that too often these days. Then on the culture side, for the culture, baby, what we do is we make sure we keep everybody connected to what's going on, the events, the activities, all the lifestyle stuff that's critically important. So with that, we focus on making sure we disseminate this information, which is why we are here today, because we don't want anybody to miss out on this great event that's coming up on February 11th that y'all are going to find out about. So with that, I want to thank our sponsor, which is Venture Suite. Venture Suite is a Black-owned co-working and event space at 780 Mount Vernon Avenue. Be sure to check them out at venturesuite.co. So if you're looking for a private place to work, if you're looking to get some work in, some private time, some quiet time, or you have an event that you need to host, or you need to host a meeting, there's a conference room, make sure you check it out. Once again, venturesuite.co. Now with that, it is time. I'm super excited to have Steve with us. Brother Miller, would you do me a favor? Would you please introduce yourself to our audience for those that don't know who you are, your affiliation with the UNCF, the role you played, all the great things you do in our community and have done for years, and then all the great things you're about to do. But for those that don't know you, let's start with a little bit of background on who you are, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, first of all, I just want to thank you for having me on your program. It's always a pleasure to work with you and communicate, share ideas and opportunities to uplift our community. Currently, I'm operating in the role as Area Development Director for United Negro College Fund with offices here in Columbus, but I cover all of Kentucky and all of Ohio to include Louisville, Lexington, Columbus, Dayton, Cincinnati, Akron, Canton, and Cleveland. So we work with students to help them provide financial support so they can go to and through college. UNCF's been doing this for over 77 years, and we are that institution that helps families and students get the money they need to reach their educational dreams.
Okay.
So we're excited to do that work. We've grown the work in these markets through partnership, collaboration, and just communicating our mission message to people. And the most important thing that we do that most people don't know is that we provide scholarship money to any student to go to any school. It's not just specifically for historically Black colleges. They can go to any accredited 2-year or 4-year institution. Now, we of course support our 37 member institutions that are private. I'm a Wilberforce graduate. Wilberforce does not receive state federal funds. HBCU, but we also support Central State, Kentucky State, Alabama State, all those schools that are HBCUs, but they receive state and federal funds. So those 37 member institutions are private and primarily church schools that we provide biannual support to make sure that they can stay afloat, deliver educational mission message for their faculty in their physical facilities. So it's really a passion of mine. As I mentioned, I'm a Wilberforce graduate. I graduated from the Klein program. Both my parents attended historically Black college, West Virginia
Okay.
State, and both my grandfathers attended historically Black colleges. So I'm third generation, and that's a blessing. And we just want to try to support, communicate, educate to as many individuals and families on the opportunity, the cultural competence that our historically Black colleges provide for students to get their education. And I think the other important piece is that UNCF, working with our HBCUs and minority students, we provide opportunities for students to get their education at an affordable price. So historically, many HBCUs are half the price of PWIs, and there's a cultural competency on those campuses that creates more of a family environment for them to be successful. And many kids who would never consider even going to college have opportunities to be successful, like you were at your HBCU, coming out of New York, going down south.
Tuskegee University, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's a great opportunity. There's a lot of history, legacy that's connected to the HBCU experience, the Divine Nine relationship that many of us have shared. That the bros are in effect, the Kappa is in effect, the alphas, the AKAs, deltas. So many sorority, fraternity connections with that HBCU experience. And even at predominantly white institutions, that Divine Nine opportunity still persists and exists. And UNCF does support students that attend those schools.
Absolutely. Wow. So here's the deal. I want to take a second and say, first of all, thank you for the work that you're doing, right, to help our youth to get their education, right? Like we can, one of the things is, we get excited and, hey, this is what we got. But at the end of the day, the work that's being done is so important, man. I really appreciate, and I know so many parents and so many students appreciate all the work that you're doing to help with these scholarships and to help them get the educations so that they can do the things that we are doing and have a positive impact on others as they continue to matriculate through life, right? So thank you for that, first of all.
Well, also, Kev,
yeah, go ahead.
All the thanks can't go to me because people like yourself are working in the community. You and I met at a high school. We were out telling our story on what our experience was, how we can educate Columbus City school students or anybody about where they can get an education, what the experience is. And if you can make it and I can make it, we know anybody can make it. So absolutely. I appreciate the work that you're doing and others to support us being able to tell our story, to let kids know that there are people that look like them, there are institutions that were started by people that look like them, that are there to provide educational support, background, and uplift to help them be successful.
True indeed. True indeed. So do me a favor. We're going to get into, kind of what's next and what's coming up. But before we do that, how did you get involved with UNCF, like especially at this level? Help us understand what was your trigger point and what experiences did you have that made you say, this is something that I literally want to do. I want to commit to make it happen.
Well, Kev, thanks. I've had an interesting path. Yeah. And God has been good. And it really wasn't up to me. It just happened this way. Uniquely and fortunately, my brother used to be the vice president at United Negro College Fund. Okay. Maybe 30 years ago. And he had a career with them, and then he left to do some other things. He went to work for the National Minority Supplier Development Council. And before I came to UNCF, I worked for the Ohio Minority Supplier Development Council. So in support of Black business, I worked to help minority businesses get contract with corporate partners. And I did that for 3 or 4 years and really enjoyed that work because there's so much opportunity from a professional development, certification opportunity to make that connection between corporate partners and minority businesses. that definitely need that. So that work brought me to UNCF. Even though my brother had been there 20 years previous, when the opportunity came up, it was almost like it was made for me. So based on the work I had done in the community, the work I had done with other corporate partners statewide, it was really an opportunity to help lay the groundwork for some of the success that we're having now, because many of those relationships were transferable, because those companies really wanted to buy into the talent opportunity that our minority students that are college educated can bring to their businesses, increase their workforce diversity, and increase their opportunity to do better business, because most businesses are interested in the bottom line, and diversity of thought, diversity of staff, diversity of talent helps them reach broader markets. And specifically now in this time where we've had some unique political opportunities with social justice, with police issues, the past president, and we know that our students, whether it be COVID related or those other issues, are disproportionately impacted by that. So this is the best time and most powerful time for us to focus on education for our youth, so we can create the next generation of leaders, whether they be business leaders, but also corporate bankers that I talk to, healthcare, technology. They're desperate and seeking, they want minority talent. And UNCF, not just as a scholarship organization, but as a partner in developing student professional development, scholarships, internships, can really help grow opportunities in the corporate and community setting.
So listen, y'all saw me doing this. Why? He's over there dropping gems, historically breaking down how he ended up doing what he's doing now, but then also the impact, right? Like this is really big stuff. This is great work, right? And definitely a blessing. You know, somebody left a comment saying the UNCF is blessed to have you passionately lead the effort. Passionately lead the effort, right? We appreciate that. So listen, let's switch gears a little bit, right? One of the key things that we wanted to have you on the show for was there's a major special event that's coming up on February 11th. Can you tell us a little bit about that event and then how people can get involved in it and what the goals are as well?
Well, again, Kev, we thank you. You are one of our media partners for this event. On February the 11th, we're going to have the 10th annual UNCF Columbus Mayor's Luncheon. Last year, well, the last 2 years.
Did you say 10th annual?
10th annual, yes, sir.
Thank you.
10th annual, and we've raised over $500,000 every year in Columbus over the last 5 years. And this year, statewide, we raised about $1.5 million, and $500,000 of that goes to Central Ohio students. So Mayor Ginther has been very, very supportive. When I started 4 years ago, he wanted Columbus to be the largest mayor's luncheon in the country. And I was like, hey, Mayor, that sounds good. And I'd like to have that too, but I didn't think it was going to happen. But 2 years ago, we were able to have the largest UNCF mayor's luncheon in the whole country. We had over 800 people at COSI, and we raised close to $200,000. So we're excited to have the opportunity to be back at COSI this year, although it will be limited seating because of COVID. 2 years ago, we had 800 guests. This year, we're only allowed to have 340.
Okay.
But that has not limited the dollars that we've been able to raise. And we brought in new partners. We have new scholarships. We've got a great lineup of in-person and video support for this program. Of course, Mayor Ginther is our host. Channel 6 is our local television sponsor. Rodney Dunnigan, who is the anchor, he's an HBCU graduate. Yeah, he's been our host for the last couple of years. He's a Tougaloo graduate, and we want to show that there's talent all throughout our city that are HBCU graduates. And also, his college president is going to be our keynote speaker. President of Tougaloo College. So we wanted to, bring it home and let him be celebrated by his president. But we also have the amazing Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, who's a Central State graduate, who's going to provide us with a video presentation. She's participated in everything that we've done.
Yeah.
Also, Shannon Harden, our city council president, who is an HBCU graduate, a Morehouse grad.
That's
He's
right.
going to basically do the final piece, for the program. And we have a number of other amazing people. Columbus City Schools Superintendent, Dr. Jaleesa Dixon, HBCU graduate. She's also going to provide us some information. My good friend, Mark Hatcher, who is the managing partner of Baker Hostetler, and he is the board chair of Central State University.
Okay.
And let me say that one more time. Mark Hatcher is the managing partner.
Wow.
He's not just an ordinary attorney. He's running the whole shop at one of the largest law firms in Columbus. He's one of the top 40 attorneys in the whole United States. He's the board chair for Central State, and he's supporting our efforts. We've got a couple of local students that we're highlighting. We have an HBCU highlight where we're highlighting corporate opportunities where people are working in corporate settings. And that are HBCU graduates. We've got my good friend Steve Moore at the Columbus Foundation. He's a Hampton graduate, and he's been instrumental in doing all kinds of things for many organizations. We've got a young lady, Samantha Clopton. She works for L Brands, and I remember when she was born. So it's amazing to see somebody that's come from infancy to now working, graduating, and working. She's a Howard graduate. So we're just so excited to have students, corporate partners. Huntington is our lead sponsor. Huntington Bank shares. Donald Dennis, who's the new diversity inclusion director for Huntington, is going to be our keynote speaker, corporate partner, presenter. And we're just excited to have them on board. And we have so many other corporate partners that are going to participate. We'll also have a musical presentation by some Columbus City School students. We always want to showcase and highlight that talent. We'll also have a special presentation by the 105 Voices, which is the HBCU choir. So it's going to be a great in-person hybrid event with social distancing. We're going to provide masks for everybody, and I'll make sure you get one too.
Thank you.
But this will be streamed on Facebook and Instagram, so people can see it at no cost. So we're real excited, and we're hoping to raise more money to provide scholarships for students. Last year, we provided over 35 scholarships in Columbus, an average about $10,000 a scholarship. And a number of those students went to Wilberforce, Ohio State, St. Clair Community College, Tuskegee. We have 5 kids at Tuskegee. North Carolina A&T, Kent State, Howard University, Bowling Green, Morehouse, and Spelman. So, also Bishop Clark is going to be providing us with an invitation. First Church of God has been one of our partners for many years. They have a $150,000 scholarship with us. They provide $50,000 of scholarship for students every year. So we're just so excited. We've got great support from our leadership council, from community leaders like yourself. And we just want everybody to go to the uncf.org/Columbus Mayor's Luncheon. So they can tune into the program. And you can also make a donation at uncf.org/Columbus Give. So we're real excited, and we're just trying to help more kids.
Wow. Listen, man, I am I'm not surprised, but I'm a little speechless. And it's kind of hard for me to be speechless, right? The lineup.
I've never known you to be speechless. I didn't know that was possible.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, I'm sitting here listening to this lineup, and I'm just like in awe over, like, this doesn't just happen, right? I've done enough to know this doesn't just happen. Like the amount of, outreach and relationships and partnerships and conversations and time and energy to put together something of this magnitude and to raise the type of funds that you're raising for our students is absolutely phenomenal, man. I know we talked a little bit about earlier, and I know it's a team effort, but Steve, like, as the leader, because guess what? If it wasn't happening, guess what we do? We're like, oh, horrible leadership. It's not doing anything, right? So you got to take it when it's great. And it's, man, kudos to you and your leadership, the team that you've built, the relationships you've established, in the work that's being done, the partnership with the mayor to be vested in this and everybody else, right? From Joyce Beatty on and Bishop Clark on, right? Like, and the list just keeps going. So kudos to you. What a phenomenal event that everybody should want to be a part of.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, Kev, you know, I'm just a messenger. I'm just a soldier, and all glory and honor goes to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because He has provided this for us, these relationships, this hard work, and people know I'm passionate about this. So this is not play. This is not a job. This is a mission. And you know, all the work I've done in the community, from St. Charles, helping to hire the first Black teacher in 100 years. Work with Big Brothers Big Sisters, work with Mount Carmel Foundation, the work I've done with the First Tee. It all came together. And so it just was, if I could have planned it, it probably wouldn't have happened, but you know, God just put it all together, and people have blessed us, blessed me, blessed our kids. And you know, we're just excited to try to help more kids. And the good thing is we're doing good things for kids, but no good deed goes unpunished. So every year we do good, we gotta do better. So
That's right. Hey, that was a segue, right? So what's next? So one of the things we always talk about on this show is, you know, what are your next milestones? Because the last question is going to be, how do we help you get to that milestone? So when you think about what you already accomplished, what's coming up on the 11th, everything is looking great. What's next on the horizon, though, Steve? Where do you want to take this thing, and how do we help you get there?
Well, Kev, again, we thank you for this opportunity, and what we hope will be the next level for us. As I mentioned, when I came on 4 years ago, we hadn't cracked $500,000. This year, at the end of March for our fiscal year, we'll have $2 million. And of course, you know, we want to get to $3 million. February, we got the mayor's luncheon here in Columbus. February 25th, we're doing a luncheon in Cleveland. Then we're going to do another one in Toledo in April. Then we'll do something in Akron-Canton in May. Then through the summertime, you know, we have our Walk for Education, and we've done that for 38 years. And Lord willing, we'll be able to be out together in public. And we want that to be big again. And we're partnering with the national platform from our headquarters office in Washington, D.C. So those are the things that we're looking forward to. But what we're hearing from corporate partners is that they want more front-facing opportunities for talent. So we're going to go back and expand our job fair and college fair. And that will give us an opportunity to really put kids in seats and put kids in jobs. So, you know, that's what we're planning, you know.
That's it, man. So listen, it's interesting you say that, right? Not to get off on a tangent, but helping everybody understand like how major that is, right? As we talk about the economic disparities that exist in the Black community, especially, right? And when you talk about education and you talk about providing job opportunities where that economic disparity can now be closed, that wealth gap can begin to be closed over time. And that is what you all are doing. Y'all are building a foundation to help them get there. This is big, right? So everybody needs to understand that, you know, a fundraiser like this and supporting these kids is a lot bigger than a fundraiser like this and just helping them get their education, because it impacts the trajectory of our entire community. So it's very, very important.
Absolutely. It's a move. It's a move to the middle class, and UNCF has been very intentional about that. And just a few quick facts for you, Kev.
Go ahead.
You know that 80% of all judges that are Black went to HBCU. 50% of all doctors and lawyers went to HBCU. Black lawyers. 20% of all African Americans that hold STEM jobs went to HBCU.
Come on.
40% of all African American teachers went to HBCU. So we help build the middle class. We're help creating upward mobility. The economic impact of just Central State and Wilberforce is over $200 million a year. Lifetime earnings for a graduate of a historically Black college increases over $1 million over somebody that does not have a college degree. So we're talking about economic empowerment that we've been participating in for over 77 years. And we know now with the current environment that we have that we need this more now than we ever have. We've got bomb threats at our HBCUs. We've got challenges to voting rights. So we need to educate and arm our young people so they can be the next level of leaders. Black Lives Matter, but a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in.
Listen, hey, I didn't say this at the beginning. I'm hoping y'all picked up on what I'm doing. Every time he drops a gem, I go like this, right? Those are gem drops. He just gave me a workout. Why? Because he's been dropping all these gems, like so hard, so heavy. That is powerful as it gets. Can you do me a favor, finish with that tagline again? A mind is a what?
A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a great thing to invest in.
Woo-hoo. All right, y'all. That's what we need to do. We need to make sure we invest. So we're going to get the links in the thread here so everybody will know where you can go so that you can support and contribute toward the scholarship fund and the efforts that Steve and the UNCF are working on to help educate our children so we can all invest, right, in their education. That's what we need to do. So listen, with that, if there was one thing, Steve, you said, hey, if everybody that watches this, because some people are going to watch this today, tomorrow, this weekend, next week, next month, and actually somebody's going to come across this a year from now. Why? They're going to pull up your name. They're going to hear all the great things that are going on, the millions of dollars that are being raised, UNCF. They're going to put your name in, and this video is going to pop up, and they're going to watch it. And at the end, they're going to get this answer from you in regards to what's the one thing we can do to help achieve the next milestone and the success that you just talked about. What can we do as a community?
We have to support our own. We have to support our historically Black colleges. We have to sacrifice. We have to give dollars, whether it's $5, $10, $100. We have to make sure that we're investing in our own community. We can't wait for others to do for us. We have to do for ourselves. You know, we are the most amazing people on this planet. We were here first. We created math, charted the stars, built the pyramid. So there's nothing we can't do. And we need to start with helping our own. And also, historically speaking, those of us that are economically challenged historically have a larger percentage of giving. So we're not talking to rich people. We're talking to everybody. We're talking to every person. Everybody can give $1, $5, $10. So that's what we want.
And that's the thing, y'all. It doesn't take much, right? $1, $5, $10, right? Like nobody has to say give $1,000, right? But if everybody helps out, that's how change happens, right? That's how it happens. One collective coming together, right, to make it happen. And like he said, we got to take care of these HBCUs, right? Like at the end of the day, it's a struggle and a challenge, and we see the outcome. Here's what's interesting, Steve. You know, when you look at investments, right, and where, you know, companies, or should I say organizations, VCs, banks, right, when they invest, right, into a business, it's always about the financials. It's about the numbers, right? The data. What does the data tell you, right? Everybody wants to know what's the track record so I can know that I'm investing in this and there's going to be some success, right? Well, here you go. You just dropped all of those stats. That's enough. Like, we don't need any more data to say that going to an HBCU, right, makes a difference, right? So you need to make sure you understand the data does not lie. The data is real. Not that everybody tied to UNCF, as he said earlier, goes to an HBCU, but we also understand the benefit of going to an HBCU. So as a WU or Wilberforce alumni, right, and the TU, right, Tuskegee University alumni, we're gonna be There it is. Hey, you know. All right. So with that, because we could go all day. Listen, before we go, we're actually almost out of time. If there was one thing that you said, hey, when I get on this show, I want to make sure I share this. Did we miss anything? And if we did, I want you to take the opportunity for a wrap up to share any last messages for our audience if we missed anything.
Just again, thank you for this opportunity. Go to uncf.org/ColumbusGive and make any donation for any dollar amount. Also, you can go to uncf.org/Columbus Mayor's Luncheon and view the program that will be on UNCF's Facebook site on February the 11th. And just remember, a mind's a terrible thing to waste, but a great thing to invest in. And you know what it is.
He had to end that way. He had to end that way. And I get it. I get it. All right. So with that being said, listen, Steve, I just want to thank you again for all the work that you're doing. I appreciate you. I appreciate the leadership. I'm excited for all of the success. I look forward to more success. I'm glad Columbus Black has the opportunity to be a part of that success as a media partner as well. And we look forward to continuing to do that. We wish you the best of luck throughout the other cities, right, that you're raising funds in, and those mayors there trying to catch up to Mayor Ginther here. Good luck to them. But right now, Columbus has to represent. We have to lead because that's what we do. So let's keep making that happen. Remember, y'all can check out events and special discussions like this. Just make sure you go to columbusblack.com. It's going to ask you to sign up for our email newsletter. You do that so that you get emails letting you know when we have amazing guests like Steve on the show. Okay, that way you don't miss out on all the great things happening in Columbus as well. So you can follow us. Also, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're everywhere, y'all. We're all over the place, right? And we're working on TikTok too. So with that, make sure you check us out, follow us, and that way you'll be up to speed on everything we have going on. Remember, thank you to our sponsor, Venture Suite. For those that are not on the Mile app, download Mile. Go to mile.com, myle.com. We'll have events like this posted on there as well. You can find out about different things going on when you're looking for things to do, places to go, and food to eat. Just mile it. With that being said, I'm going to do it as I always do. And he gave us a lot of this knowledge. He broke down the history, right? So y'all heard it. But remember this, in order to be more successful in your future, you need to understand a little bit more about your past. That's the reason why we just had Steve Miller on the show. And I believe, just like us, y'all had a blast. And with that, I'm going to end as I always do, brother. I'm out. Have a good night, everybody. We appreciate y'all checking us.